Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Today I'm going to tell you some eclipse secrets that everybody should know about, whether you practice Western tropical astrology, Vedic astrology, or no astrology at all. Here are 5 things that we're going to discuss. And look at me, I got some kind of eclipse going on behind me. There you go. It's about to happen in a few hours. So there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of misunderstanding around eclipses. And if you want actually a free class, this is the reason I have this web page up. This is my partner's site, humannarratives.com. If you go there, scroll to the bottom, there is a free class on eclipses, on especially these ones that just happened or are happening, and how to deal with them. And so how to prevent them from turning into trauma. This is the brought to you by portion, okay? So just skip forward if you don't want to see this. But it's a free class, okay? So there's only so much we could do in one video, but in just a minute, I'm going to share with you 5 things you probably don't know about eclipses and you wish you did. And how could you live to the ripe old age of whatever you are without knowing these things, okay? So let's see, Rahu Ketu. Where is it? Here we go. Free class, Eclipse Basics. Click on Get the Class. This is a 2-hour class, and it covers everything about these recent eclipses. But you might say, well, Simon, I'm watching this video 2 weeks later. It's too late. It's not too late because the effects of the eclipses last up to 6 months or even sometimes up to a year. So, all right, with that out of the way. So get that class. Check it out. I think you'll like it. Let's get into this. Eclipse secrets everyone should know but doesn't. Number 1, Astatara. What is this nonsense? What is this? Asta means burnt, eclipsed, set. Tara means star. So in Vedic astrology, where the eclipse happens, now in all astrology, becomes a sensitive point. But in Vedic astrology, the nakshatra, the specific star where the eclipse occurs, becomes burnt, which means it's no good for any type of major undertaking like a wedding, a business, a launch of a product, whatever it is, when the moon is in that star. So that star for the next 6 months until the next eclipse becomes persona non grata, tara non grata. Okay, it becomes not good for muhurta, for electional astrology. So don't use the star where the eclipse is happening. So we're just having right now, by the way, I'm making this in August of 2026 for those of you watching later. So here is a chart. I thought I'd pull it up and actually show you what I'm talking about. August 11th, roughly, the eclipse happened in the star Ashlesha. So that star that's generally an inauspicious star for like launching things like marriage or business. So, but that star is burnt. And then 2 weeks later, the lunar eclipse is in the star. Let's see, let's go one later. How do I know? Because the moon is going to be exactly opposite the sun. So Shatabhisha nakshatra becomes burnt, okay? So these 2 stars are Asta for electional astrology. All right, next topic. Most people aren't going to tell you this. What if, so people tell you to run away from eclipses, right? To be, unless you're an astrophysicist in which you want to run towards them because that's your job, or Einstein and you want to prove your theory of relativity. But in Vedic astrology, typically you're told to lie low. However, if you are running the period of Rahu or Ketu, this is the time that these grahas become strong. So if you're a Western astrologer, we have what are called planetary periods, right? And you can run the cycle of these planets, and at which time the houses they rule or occupy will become prominent in your life. This is one feature of Vedic astrology that's very useful. So if you run a major period of Rahu, which is 18 years, but even a minor period within another major period, if you're running Rahu during an eclipse, your Rahu actually becomes empowered and it will deliver the effects of the houses that it signifies in your horoscope. If you don't know which houses it signifies, just look at what house it sits in. Well, wait, Simon, do we use the Placidus house system? Do we use the whole sign? It depends. If you're doing standard Vedic astrology, you use whole sign and you will get a result. If you're doing Krishnamurti Padati, which I teach and which is on my site, decodingvedicwisdom.com, then you can use the Placidus house systems, but you have to use it within that system. In any case, regardless of what house system you use, if a person is running a node, the period of a node, they can become empowered to achieve great things around eclipses. So, subject to all of the other things I'm going to talk about, and also to Astatara. It doesn't mean you want to launch your business on an eclipse just because you're running Rahu or Ketu. You still have to be careful. But this is a time when opportunities, breakthroughs can happen, whereas life is typically sort of goes like this, like this, like this. Boom. During these times, you can break through. So that's potentially a good thing. Number 3. The porcupine orb. Imagine trying to get frisky with a porcupine. Now, I'm sure porcupines know how to do it because there are more porcupines born and they haven't gone extinct. So I'm sure there's a way to do it. But it is inherently fraught with a little bit of danger. Why? Because those needles can shoot out and stick to you. And even if you're being nice, you can get stuck, right? This is what it's like around an eclipse. So there is an event horizon around an eclipse. Like I have this eclipse around my head right now. Literally, I look like Sheshanada, or I look like Vishnu actually or Shiva maybe with the cobra. Whatever it is, I'm not making it happen. It's just there. There is an event horizon around which. What do I mean by this? Anything you do around an eclipse within 2 or 3 days before or after is bound to be more sticky, so be careful, okay? Let's say you start up a new dangerous hobby like race car driving. There might be things that you overlook that just something goes wrong and something happens and that thing sticks to you for the next 6 to 12 months. Let's say you break your ankle and now you have to recover for the next year. Let's say you just make a bad decision. You will pay the results of that, or you will see the effects of that over the next 6 to 12 months. There's no, it's not retribution or anything like that. It's just that whatever happens around this time tends to be very, very sticky. So that's why typically you don't start businesses, you don't start weddings during this time, because just a little argument can, let's say you plan on getting married around the eclipse and just someone says something, it could even be innocent and it's taken the wrong way. And now it's like this little porcupine needle that's sticking in you. And 6 months later, you're like, well, remember at our wedding, you said this? I'm telling you, just avoid that hassle if you can, and save yourself the trouble. But on the plus side, if you do positive things, if you put in affirmations, if you do what is called sadhana, which is practice towards a positive, life-affirming goal, then that sticks to you. And that becomes, instead of a porcupine needle, it becomes an acupuncture needle. And it becomes something that, fills you with power, with prana. So whatever you do around an eclipse, be very mindful and try to do positive patterns. But what you'll find is you're going to be tempted to do, like if you are a foodie, you're going to be tempted to pig out. If you have a, have some gambling addiction or whatever, you're going to be tempted during this time. So be aware of that. And if you fall into it, be aware that it might linger with you for the next 6 months. All right. That's the porcupine effect. What is the local effect? Well, the local effect, okay, this is probably, some of you who are astrologers know about this, that this is called the lunation, which is wherever the eclipse happens, either full moon or new moon, that point in the chart where it happens becomes sensitive. So what if it's your ascendant? Oh my God, well, the next 6 months will be, 6 to 12 months, will be incredibly important for you completely reinventing yourself. You get tattoos, you change your name, you change your job, whatever. What if it happens right on your moon or right on your Venus? Well, right on your moon, it's going to be very distressful, lots of weird thoughts. On your Venus, change of relationship, different attitudes. I've never wanted to do whatever, but now I do all of a sudden. I don't know, where is this coming from? So be mindful that the points activated by the eclipse, if they are very close to the eclipse in your chart, like your planets, will get turned on, but in a weird way. Okay. And finally, life moves on. I give the example of Facebook. Facebook launched their IPO, their initial public offering, 2.5 days before a major solar eclipse. And you think, well, 2-3 days, that's a long time. Not a long time, because the effect of that was that their stock dumped and it was at half price for a whole year. People, teachers, pensions, all had their investment basically fall at 50%. Everyone was freaked out. It was called the worst disaster in IPO history. I bet you don't remember that. I do. But life moves on. So if you have a strong relationship or a strong company, if you're a strong person, even stuff that sticks to you like a porcupine, right? Facebook did their IPO. It stuck with them for a year, but then they got out of it. Okay. So remember, whatever happens, you're going to be okay. Okay. Life moves on. You'll be fine. Just persevere and deal with the effects. I can't believe this. See, I have to deal with these effects. I'm doing this basically on an eclipse day, very close to the eclipse. So we shall see. Anyhow, if you like this kind of stuff, let me know. I can make more videos on, I like to make videos on topics that people don't already know. Everyone teaches the basics, but stuff that is new and interesting, that's my purview. If you want more of this, give it a like, give it a comment, and let me know what you'd like to see more of. And join my members page where I talk about crypto, I talk about peptides, I talk about a lot more than I can talk about here on the public channel, or that I choose to. So we'll see you there. Hari Om.